Hey, what's going on? It's Coach Mo. I just want to talk to you about consistency because that seems to be something that really holds people back. A lot of people get started, right? They're like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. They get started and then they fall off. So here's some tools for you. First things first, you have to have a big why, a big reason to actually stay consistent. And I'm not talking about a reason that the doctor told you or just what your friends or society says. I need you to sit down with yourself and write down why you want to get into fitness, why you want to lose weight, why you want to build muscle. What is your why? And make it a big why, a big reason. Because when you have a big enough why, the how doesn't seem as hard. And when I say big why, I don't mean big to everybody else. It's big to you. Something that has an emotional attachment. I find that anything that has an emotional attachment is more likely to be done, to be followed through with, and consistently keep going. Right? Logical is great. Like, I know I need to lose weight. But what does it mean? What will it mean for somebody, for example, that says, I need to lose weight because I want to be able to get on the ground and play with the grandkids, or get on the ground and play with my kids and run around with them without getting extra tired. Or, I actually had one client that her reason was she went to Six Flags and with her kid, and it was her kid's first time at Six Flags, and she went to go get on a ride, and they told her she couldn't because they couldn't close the seat down on her. So for her child's first time on a roller coaster, he had to ride with another passenger instead of being able to ride with her. So her weight actually stopped that significant event from happening the way that she dreamed of it, or happening the way that her son imagined his first roller coaster ride would go. So that's a big why. That she cried that day. And from that day, she decided it was time to make a change. And that change came in the form of consistent hard work. And yet, she dropped over 200 pounds naturally by just staying committed to that big emotional why. Here's another way to do it, right? So now you got this big old why. But sometimes that big old why can sometimes seem too big, right? It's too huge. And it can become overwhelming. Now, I'm not going to tell you to take that why down. We're going to keep that big why at the top of our mind and at the top of that sheet of paper. But what I want you to do is write down some habits that can help you with that why. We're going to go back to the roller coaster thing. What are some habits that could help you lose that weight? And it can simply be by just looking at your own life. What do you do? Do you consistently come home from work, sit down, and just sit down until it's time to lay down? Or do you come home and get some movement in? Do you find yourself eating snacks super late at night, right before going to bed, which then does bad things with your insulin and your A1C, right? So find all of those habits that you do, and then decide on changing one at a time. So rather than saying, now I'm gonna run 5 miles a day, and I'm gonna do HIIT exercise, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna eat vegetables all day, and let's start with one. Let's start with one of those habits, right? And let's get one of those habits burned and ingrained into our habit. And say, okay, I'm gonna start off by exercising. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna exercise a couple minutes every day. So that's one habit we're gonna work on. And let that habit sink in. And then you look at, okay, what's another habit I can add to this? And maybe then it's like, and I'm gonna stop eating ice cream right before I go to bed. And you work on that, right? Little small habits. Small habits that you can add in, and as time goes on and you're identifying what habits have got you in a bad situation, you remove that habit and replace it with a better habit over time so that you can stay consistent, working on that big, huge why, but taking small bites at a time, small bites at a time. There's a writer, I think, or somebody in the Army once said something to me, how do you eat an elephant? And the answer was, one bite at a time. instead of looking at this huge thing, one bite at a time. That's the smart way to do it. Okay, so we got a big why, we got small habits. Next is whatever that new habit is, I need you to schedule it. Schedule it. Like with working out, sometimes people say, I'm gonna start working out. When? How long? What time? What days? Like really schedule it. Like we schedule a lot of other things, and I'm telling you, your habits, you need to schedule those too. So if it's a workout, schedule it. Schedule your meals, right? In a way that'll keep you from overdoing or missing meals and then finding yourself back in bed eating some snacky cakes that weren't on your plan that are working against you, right? So schedule whatever your habits are, schedule them out. Whatever they're going to be. Big why, small habits, schedule it. I also want you to build an environment. I want you to build an environment that's going to help you, right? When we talk about habits, right? Habit. What do we call it when we say a place where a certain animal lives? We'll call that the animal's habitat, right? You see where I'm going with this? Habit and habitat. Your habitat helps you design or live by the habits that you said you want to do. So your habitat could be when you go to the grocery store, not bringing things in the house that's going to mess you up. It could also be putting, if I have things close to me in my proximity that are beneficial to my habits and things that work against my habits farther, more than likely I'm gonna work with whatever's closer. Another way to design my habitat is if I decide I'm working out every morning, then I make sure I have my shoes out, whatever my workout gear are really close to me. So I have those things, so it limits what we call friction. There's nothing between me and what I'm supposed to be doing. So now I'm designing my habitat, and also I'm connected with like-minded people that have similar goals or that have already, not somebody that's about to start. I'm talking about somebody that's been doing the lifestyle, living the lifestyle that I'm trying to take on, right? So now I'm communicating with them. I'm talking to them, and they're giving me feedback, or I'm just in the place listening and taking on information from people that are being what I want to be. I'm also going to use my social media, my algorithm, right? I'm going to keep liking fitness stuff, health stuff, weight loss stuff, nutrition stuff, so the algorithm starts to work for me and starts to, every time I go to scroll, it's a nutritious snack, it's about intermittent fasting, or whatever the case my new small habits are. I'm creating that habitat so that it can work for me. And the last thing I want to leave you with is tracking your progress towards the effort. See, tracking your progress of just getting on a scale every day, that's boring, right? And sometimes the scale doesn't move exactly how you want to if weight loss is what you're doing. But I want you to track your progress to the goal, right? If that is weight loss, or I'm trying to get bigger arms, or whatever the case may be, I'm trying to run a faster 5K. Yes, track your progress. But I want you to track your effort towards the progress. Like, okay, on my schedule, I was supposed to run 1 mile 3 times this week. Did I do it? So before I go race and see if I got faster, or before I get on a scale to see if I lost the weight, I need to look on my calendar for everything I scheduled to do and see if I actually did those things. Because at the end of the day, it's a product. Whatever goals we achieve are the product of the factors. Now, if my factors are correct, then I'm going to get the product that I intended. If my factors are negative, then I'm going to end up with, a negative product. Except for I have 2 negative, but don't do too much math for me. But you get it, right? Work on the stuff you're putting in the basket, and then you don't have to worry about it being in the basket. It's in there. All right, so let's review. Big why, make it emotional. Make an emotional attachment to it. Small habits that you're going to change little by little to get there. Schedule these changes. Build an environment that will invoke the change, and track your progress and effort. And if you need help, with figuring out a workout program, if that's what your goal is, then contact me so I can help you, because I've helped a whole lot of people change their lifestyles, little, consistent, and the stuff sticks. All right, I'm out of here. Peace.